Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Frags.
This is Real Talk with George and Fraser. Fraser, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Very much, man. Been a lot going on this week, man. There's a lot going on.
Oh man, between politics and sports, I mean, look, I'm stoked about this whole thing, man. My man Harding is coming to Brooklyn.
What? Y'all,
Oh
man,
man.
y'all stacked over there, man. Y'all trying to beat LeBron. I'm telling my boy, say, y'all trying to beat LeBron. Let's be real about it. There's one man y'all chasing. That's LeBron. Y'all chasing LeBron. Let's be
Well,
real.
look, let me tell you something, okay? Brooklyn now has the type of squad that they need in place that will be able to have help and facilitators all the way. I mean, KD is coming and dropping threes straight from half court. Okay, so you know he's good for that. And if he stays healthy, look, Brooklyn's going to be a challenge for Detroit.
Mighty big is.
Brooklyn's going to be a challenge for a lot of different people when Harden gets here. And then now Harden, is going to be that outside perimeter shooter too.
But
And
how do you
so
do it though? But how you do? You change him from point guard to shooting guard and let Kyrie stay point guard? How do you gonna do
always look, they're going to make it work. And the reason why they're going to make it work is because they have to make it work. They have to make it work. I mean,
it?
look, Kyrie's played with LeBron. Kyrie's run a ring. KD's run a ring. You know what I mean? The only person that hasn't won a ring yet is Harding.
Poor guy.
All
Poor guy.
right.
Hey, hey, if he wouldn't have choked so many times, he would have had a ring. The boy
No,
choked so
but
many
it
times.
wasn't. No, wait. Before we get to this guest, because we got a very important guest, but I need to correct you there, Frage. His team, there's no I in team. Okay. He didn't have the people
Never
that
stop
stepped
playing that
up.
with him.
When Golden State won, who were some of the people that stepped up? You
We
had
can't talk Golden State.
wait, hold on. Let me finish my point. Okay. Thank you. When Golden State won, who were some of the people that stepped up? You had Draymond Green that stepped up. When KD was there, you had KD that stepped up. Okay, it just wasn't about Steph shooting. When you don't have anybody to help you, okay, which Harden has not had in Houston,
What?
to help him.
Okay, okay. He had three Pro Bowl All Stars on his team. He had Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He had so many players come through that team. His
Mm-hmm.
team wears players like the people wear draws and throw them away. Get
Okay,
rid about it.
all right.
Get
So
rid about it.
he had Chris Paul. Okay, he had all these other people come through.
Thank you.
But let me ask you the question: how good were they? Were they at the level of a Kyrie and KD?
He even had Dwight Howard over there. We ain't gonna talk about that though. We KD a different level. See, KD like the Greek freak, but before he came out. I mean, come on. I mean, you'd be real about it.
That's all I'm saying.
That's
That's
KD,
all.
man. He's tall.
There's players, and then there's levels to this thing.
Exactly.
Like you
That's
know,
why I would say, if you had to pick a team, who would you start your team with? Kevin Durant or LeBron?
honestly,
Yeah, who you start with? Who would you build a team around?
I'll build a team around KD.
I'm going LeBron. Want to tell you why I go with LeBron?
Hmm.
You can put anybody on a team with LeBron. It ain't got to be a superstar. He gonna make him a superstar. Look at Lakers. They were a bunch of throwaways. They be real about it. The only person that came out there was decent with AD. Everybody was throwaway. Rondo, throwaway. Dwight Howard, throwaway. Cousins, throwaway. Come on now. And the Lakers team we had before, man, I don't want to brag on them.
All right, you got that. You definitely got that. All right, I got to shut my mouth for a minute because we're not here to talk about basketball. We're here to talk about my man DJJ with us. You know what I
DDJ,
mean?
yeah.
I'm gonna go do some Google research to make sure that I come back because you did punch me in the mouth. DJJ, welcome to Real Talk, brother.
What's going on? How y'all
What's
doing,
wrong,
man?
brother?
DDJ, man. How y'all
Doing
doing?
good. I'm doing good.
Good,
Good.
good, good, man.
Good. Thanks for
Hey, man. I
being on
just
the
want to
show.
say, I had to rep my team right now. We
Well, I
started,
see him on that record.
you
I
know
see
what
him.
I'm saying? So,
No doubt.
how
No
I'm gonna
doubt.
start? You feel me?
No
I
doubt.
got you,
So give the fans a little bit of your bio and your background.
I've been doing music for about 15 years. I'm from Oakland, California, which is in the Bay Area. Most
Mhm.
people think it's just San Francisco, but I'm from Oakland, California. You know, home of the Black Panthers. Um, my stage name is DDJ. I've done over probably like 13 projects, probably over 100 shows. Um, just been doing music since I was 16 years old, out in high school,
Mhm.
and really started just loving the process of making music. So I'm still here at this time.
No doubt. So
no
you
doubt.
said you've done over 100 shows. Let me ask you, from the time you started to where you are now? Because Frazier and I, as you know, I've been in real estate. I'm an author. We've been doing a lot of different things for almost as much years as you've been doing music, right? So
Yeah.
they would consider us experts when they talk to us. So we're talking to you as the music expert. You know what I mean? You've literally watched music change from CDs to
Man,
MP3. You see what I'm
man,
saying?
Set tapes.
Right?
man, man.
Right? Dat
Mixtape.
tape,
You
dat
know,
tape.
and my era was, not to cut you off, George, but my era was, in high school, we used to have this thing called LimeWire. And a
Yeah.
lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
we get LimeWire or like Napster, and we just go download beats, you know what I mean, and have so many beats. So to even now, like with Spotify and with YouTube Music and just iTunes, and the way it's crazy how, you know, not saying that you shouldn't do your footwork and go out and meet people with your mask on 6 feet
That's
distance,
right.
but to be able to, like, I got a fan base in China, Japan, I got people all over the world listening to me, and I've never met them. So, man, music has changed, technology has changed so much that it's a beautiful thing.
That's true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is true. So let me ask you a question. Knowing that you started from pretty much the cassette tape and the CDs, everything that, like, what you see actually changed during that process? Like, what it seem different? 'Cause I know, like, in the studio now, we are analog. Now it's mostly digital, and some people prefer digital over analog. What would you prefer?
Well, Fred, it's not even digital. Before you answer that question, it's laptop. I think it's Cakewalk
Oh
for
yes, yeah,
Windows, and I think Pro Tools for Apple.
Right.
that's true.
Where you can master now. Before you answer that question, I just want to know. I've worked with an artist on Motown before, so I know what big budgets are when you have a $500,000 budget and $1 million to deliver an album and so forth and so on. But now, with Pro Tools, you can master an entire record before you deliver it.
Yeah,
Right. Right. And that's the big part about it. And I've, because big ups to my mom, man, who really like raised me on old school like soul music, and just Atlantic Star, Dramatics, like every
Uh oh.
just
what?
all around.
We're
So,
going back. That's the baby making music.
oh man, if
Uh-oh,
it man, if it wasn't
going
for
back.
that, I wouldn't be able to survive, man. And just all my family, and shout out my Uncle Reg and everybody with the oldies. But that just always stuck to me. And
Mm.
it's that sound. And sometimes there was a point where I was having trouble cultivating the new digital sound, because the bass didn't sound like a bass guitar, and
Mhm.
some of
Yeah,
that stuff. Not knocking the platforms and the software, but sometimes certain electronic bass can't give you the bass that a bass guitar would give you.
that's true.
Right.
So, but it's all just finding that bass guitarist and getting them in the studio and mixing, and just having fun with it. So I'm loving the new digital era. I'm loving the new tech era, man. We able to do things that we normally wouldn't. So I'm
So,
vibing.
what style of music would you say primarily that you're into right now? Because you mentioned some groups, that you grew up on that were your foundation. But with rap music during our era, and I grew up in the '90s through the Bad Boy area, everything like that. Everything was samples. Puff would sample this,
Yeah,
so and so would sample this, so and so would use the same exact sample. You see what I'm saying? And it seemed like from '90s to 2000, music lost some type of originality. Big
Mm,
band playing the guitar live, playing that bass and the drums and getting that vibe. And that's where I
exactly.
think we found a lot of neo soul. But even that neo soul died, I believe, in the late 2000s. You see what I mean? By 2000, 2001, you didn't hear too much about the Roots or Maxwell or,
Yeah.
you know, see
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
ooh,
saying? Anybody else that you would just sit there and go, wow,
right,
that Erica Badu even fell off. You see what I
right,
mean?
Yeah.
Everything
man,
that was supposed to be in place for the next generation. I mean, Alicia Keys tried. You see what I mean? To come back with the live piano and this, that, and the
Yeah.
third. But she didn't bring like the full orchestra or band like Prince would do. Like Prince would bring a band and you'd be like, yo, we about to watch a show. for like
Damn.
3 hours, and nobody wanted to move out the seat. I'll be like, yo, I'll just urinate in the cup, but I'm not leaving. You know what I'm saying? Because I spent money for this ticket, and your man
Man,
ran
I
the
ain't going
whole thing that
nowhere.
right. The
Right,
man ran the whole Cadillac down from
right.
1977 to, you know what I mean, 2010, and we just sitting there banging and listening. So I'm saying that to say, when it comes to music, do you feel like it's dead a little bit because it's too much sampling? We got too much mumbling rap now, or
I want to say because I'm a fan of all music. Like right now, I like jazz a lot and listen to a lot of jazz, a lot of the oldies, like I said, Parliament,
Yes,
and my Sade, my Prince, my Michael Jackson. But you know, I hear that, but I do, I like the Migos, man. I like what they do. You know what I'm saying? I like some of the music that they have. I like some of the new age music that's coming out. As far as I don't go to it for any substance.
okay,
Um, as far as it being dead, I hear people say that too, and I'm not saying that's what you said, but I hear that a lot. And I think it's just more or less it's a way it's just a new era, it's a new time now.
hmm
And it's either like people like artists like me who the soul music and the oldies is my roots, and that's what makes me. And I'll combine, some new stuff, a new style with some oldies, and create something totally different. Because I've worked with singers who are like, well, I don't know, it's a little
yeah,
too intellectual for me, and it's a little too. And I'm like, well, I hear you, but at the same time, that's what I'm trying to create. I'm not trying to create,
exactly.
bubblegum. You
right,
know and I think the world needs substance. I think you need substance, regardless. Like eating a bunch of junk food. You can't just load up on junk food
Exactly.
and then feel like you're gonna be okay afterwards. You definitely
Exactly.
need to head to Sprouts and get you some soul food, get you some real grass fed things, and get your soul up.
Exactly. I
right.
totally agree with you. Like me, I tell everybody, my group was more day and a time. Come on now. You already know I'm talking. More day come out, boy. You know you had a show. It was some
Yeah,
jumping, it was some bumping. Everybody, mama. Chill. I'm like, George, sit in the chair. You can't sit in the chair more day. Come on, you can sit up jam.
better not. You
You
better
do
not.
everything with that thing.
Something wrong. Something wrong.
Then you,
Like
you had to come over there with then you had the boys coming, everybody coming. Don't forget like Johnny Taylor. You talking about all the old schoolers coming in. Who had that old school? Like I tell
James
you,
Brown.
There we
what?
go.
Who you telling? Who you telling? Hey, you know Rick James sampled out.
Man,
He sampled a lot of James Brown music, boy. Rick James, come on now, Rick James, boy.
no,
Hey, that
man.
guitar is legendary in rap and hip hop. That guitar,
Bootsy
every
Collins.
sample in the world, based off Rick James. They be real about it.
Yes.
They be real about it. Him and BB King.
Oh
I,
yeah, no doubt about it. But that's my point. Okay. They took that from one person here. Where's the next Rick James? Where's the next Prince?
it's
I
hard.
mean,
Man.
we,
It's
we,
hard.
we those are generational people, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is the sound that they influence, like Sade. Sade's old. She's worried about her family right now. She
Right.
only comes out, she only comes out, you know what I'm saying, just every 10 years. You see what I mean? And that's it. So who's filling in those gaps to keep that music alive where we can go and listen to a live band and
yeah,
be there and just, you know, vibe out for 4 hours? Like I said,
exactly.
put
It's true.
Biggie
Hey,
on
hey, man,
stage.
you come vibe out on my album, man. I got some live band on there for a whole hour. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? And when this quarantine and stuff, we definitely gonna have a live band for you, George. Don't worry, I got you, man.
No
Oh
DDJ,
yeah,
doubt, no
wait.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no
I
doubt.
got
yeah. We gotta go
brother.
visit too. Make sure you go visit him too. You know, him and the Nets a fan over here. I'm just saying.
No,
Man,
he's in California. California is straight lockdown, son.
Oh yeah.
man,
Oh
Serious,
yeah.
we
serious.
like Pelican Bay out here, man. And they still don't go in the house. I don't get it, but it's all good.
Hey,
It's all good.
don't worry. Everybody about to join you real soon. So everybody laughing at you now, but everybody about to be locked down again. So
Right. We've been like this almost a whole year, so
I'm used to it now. I'm used to it. I kind of like
Oh, I think it's a beautiful thing,
me
man.
too. I love it. I
You
got
know,
peace of mind. Now I either think nowadays, I can actually think now, like, whoa, that's actual thought. Before, you were always constantly running. You had 8,000 thoughts going to head at one time. Then one of them came clear.
No, that's true.
You gotta persevere. You gotta know how when no one see things coming. I never see things coming, but it's all about how you adjust to it and make it happen. So
I mean, look, I definitely agree. As you guys know my story, it was because of lockdown I was able to complete my books. Some books I had on the shelf for like 10 years, 15 years that I just didn't complete because
Yeah.
of life. You know what I mean? So lockdown has its silver lining. But back to you, DDJ, it's not about me, it's about you, baby. You
oh
know what I'm
man,
saying?
we
How
have
many? No doubt. I just wanted to ask, you have over 100 songs, you know. That's an extensive catalog.
Exactly.
Um, what's your favorite song from when you started, right? And what's your favorite song now that you bump into? Yo stuff.
man, my favorite from back in the day, my favorite song would have to be I made this song called Make It on My Own
Okay.
that I'm actually gonna be remastering and re-releasing for Martin Luther King Day. And then right now, to be honest, my
Nice.
whole album, George. I
Nice.
gotta be real. I gotta be real. It's the whole album, baby. It's
Like you know he good. He said the whole album.
the whole album, brother. Just trust no one, bro. My whole album is I'm rocking with it from the first to the beginning, from Mind Together to Sacred Love and everything in between. We got constructive on there. Constructive keep me motivated. That's for all the working class people out there. Shadows is one of the ones that really was where I kind of opened up more and got deep into it and really just about persevering against your own demons. And then I got some music for people to dance to on there. We got a song called Champagne Dreams with my Uncle Reg and Nate Quest, which is really hot right now. It give me that Mac feel, like from the Mac back in the day, that Max
Oh yeah.
Jordan feel.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's my roots, man. And then Sacred Love too. I wanted to make a song for women that's positive and just shedding the light on the women that are around and are in a man's life to help him during those times of hardships.
Hmm.
I don't feel like we have enough music like that as well. That's shedding the light on the righteous woman.
Hmm.
And I definitely wanted to do that with Sacred Love and just kind of just do something totally different than what I usually would do. And that's what I did with this whole project, man. So it's like I'm listening to it every day. I'm vibing with them, getting a good response. And George, I need your size, bro, so I can send you some merch. I got some
No
merch
doubt.
for you. Coming fresh off the press, man. All I need is your size and straight to you.
I'm extra large, brother. I'm extra large.
Got you, man.
No
But
doubt.
yeah, I would just love for like you guys to go to the album and just check it out and let me know which one is your favorite, because all of them is my favorite, man.
Well,
I just shot a video last weekend, I believe, for one of the songs on there called Shine on Them, so that's coming out. And then also Mr. Underrated, I Can't Stop, that's also coming out, and we just still going full speed ahead.
nice. I heard some of your stuff. I listened to some of your stuff when I was sampling and I was doing a promo, and it was hot, man. Some of it was hot. I like that old school vibe we had. It kind of remind me of like when Snoop Dogg first came out. We had that smooth like
Man, I
beat,
appreciate
like
that. That's that West Coast flavor, man. Yeah,
I love it. I mean, I
that's
tell you,
that West Coast
when you
flavor.
think West Coast, you think of smooth. I try to tell the boy, I used to manage. I told one guy, look, I said, you gotta change the style up. You sound just like this cat over here. Sound like the cat over here. I can't tell who's different. And that's not good for me. I'm your manager.
Right.
That's
Right.
bad. You can't tell who you are. That's bad.
Right.
So I tell them, no, start a little style, change the style, make your own little style, make your own little print inside the industry. Don't be like everybody else. He ain't listen. And he ended up disappearing. And nobody knew it. I say that's what happened. A lot of artists don't realize if you sound like somebody else, easy for you to get forgotten
Right.
in time. Like, look at some artists we have. Like, I mean, Nelly, all of them, they were banging in like 90s and going to mid 2000s, but then now they all producers. You know?
Right.
I know you one of the boys. You one of the boys, right? The hot little boy group. They didn't grow up in the music industry, but they're producers though.
Right.
You know. So I mean, a lot of people you see disappear, they really disappear. They went to the back end of it deal. Cause like DJ, like some people like the creativity more than actually performing, actually get on stage. See, everybody like that Michael Jackson. The man loved to perform.
Right.
That man loved to perform. The Beyonces love to perform. Now I know it comes first R. Kelly. I know everybody comes for R. Kelly, but the man put on a show.
Man, R. Kelly made hits.
R. Kelly concert.
R. Kelly made hits.
In the movie on stage.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Right.
you always find ways to enhance the audience, to put audience in no matter what they're doing.
Right.
You know, and remember, he used to be a remix king. Every son of a man, he remixed somebody on somebody's album. Then you can't. Lil Wayne came out. Remember? Yeah, Babyface on R&B. So now go back to the question I'm asking you. Do you like to collaborate with a lot of artists, or you prefer to work with yourself only?
I prefer to work with myself. I like collabing with more singers and producers. But as far as artists, I like working by myself just because I be in my own little world, and I like experimenting with certain sounds and just doing certain things, and my pace and my work rate is different from others. So, I just like to be in my own lane and do my own thing, but not excluding working with other artists. I would love to work with, some artists out there, of course, but right now I'm just been really in my own little world right now. But I definitely want to collab.
Well, who are some of the artists? There we go. I was like, who are some of the artists you want to
like? I think so much to like over here. It's crazy.
Oh, we got a show, Frage.
The first, I definitely, man, I'll do the artists alive because it's a couple that's not here anymore. But the ones that's alive, I definitely would want to do something with Beyonce, The Weeknd.
Yeah.
I definitely would want to work with Lil Boosie.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? 50 Cent. I would love to work with. Man, there's so many. Man, it's so many. I like out of the, I would like to work with the Migos. I wouldn't mind working with them. Neo. What's the other guy name? Youngster Jeremiah. I like Jeremiah.
Yeah, he's good.
Jeremiah,
good.
Jeremiah.
Yeah,
Mary J. Blige. Man.
Not the way that says something. We'll see.
Too short. Keep the sneak from my hometown.
Okay.
That.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you then. Wait, hold on, Frage. I gotta ask him. Okay, maybe I'm taking your question. But who would be the artist that had passed you want to work with? And the only reason why I'm asking,
my question again.
Yeah, I know. The only reason why I am asking that question is because you actually could do it. Look what Krista Brown did with Aaliyah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not impossible.
You're right, George.
Hey, I see Natalie Cole sing with her daddy right next to him. Like, damn, his daddy sitting next to you.
Right?
I mean,
so it's not impossible. So just give me at least 3 of the artists that have passed. If you can do 3, if you can do 5, you can do 5.
Tupac, Rick James, Aaliyah.
Yep.
Who else? That Mac Dre.
Okay.
Definitely Mac Dre.
I see you over there. I see you. Oh, I got one. I would love. I'm gonna go old school on you. I think you work good with James Brown.
Oh yes,
James Brown.
James Brown. Number one.
But I can see who doing something with James Brown. Boy, I can see it right now.
I just want James to get. I'm gonna come late on purpose, just so James is like, man, you think you can just come in here late? Take his money from him.
He ain't getting paid though.
I just want to have that story that I came late and James just, got in on me, man.
He'll hit you with the that's $10, baby.
I think James Brown is really that he the reason why hip hop is what it. He's so sampled that it's. Man, him in Parliament, like I don't know what the sound would be without those guys.
No, man.
Sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely the truth. Absolutely,
man. Those guys are legendary. I'll tell nobody. Say I grew up on James Brown. and I'd be like trying to do the dance, like trying to do that little that couldn't get for the world, couldn't get it for the world. Could not get it for the world. It like somebody having seizures doing a thing like.
That's all right, man. Long as you doing it, man. This, 2021. I'm all about. Long as you doing it, it don't matter, man.
That's you, man. Make a dance out of it.
That's gonna be the Fraser dance. You feel me?
Do the Fraser
dance.
Crazy.
You gotta have fun with it, man.
Crazy, crazy. So, as far as artists, now I got to hit you with the business side, brother.
There we go.
How's your business changed? Do you have a manager? Do you have a distribution company? Do you have a publishing company or marketing company? I know you said you just shot a video. Videos have changed from when you could spend $500,000 on a video till now with these new cell phones and the HD, you can shoot a video for $5,000. You know what I mean? That is of quality that will be picked up on Vivo. You can throw it into YouTube. I mean, like I said, you're in all types of camera specs and things. And on top of that, you can edit it and mix it with computers now. So how has your business changed? Because artists now can, with your own platform, like you said, you got people in Japan and China that know you and listen to your music. You know what I mean? You have to realize that at some point in time, you're going to have to go to Japan and China.
Right.
And you see what I'm saying? They're just not going to just listen to the music,
Right. No.
Whether you're in a club or whatever it is, you're going to have to go. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But that's how it's changed, where, with a click of a button, you can be anywhere in the world. How has that helped you? Has that helped you because you've been able to put more money in your pocket as you've been able to grow over the last 15 years and not cutting these checks to everybody? Or has it been a drain because you wish you had that deal with Motown per se, where they could put $1 million on you and then boom, they let you go? You see what I'm saying? To do what you're supposed to do.
It's changed a lot because I've been able to my own label. I'm an artist on my own label, Monarch Dynamics Music. I've been able to, I got my own masters. I'm not managed. I do have a team per se behind me, but I manage myself pretty much. But everything still streams through my record label. But just like I said, with COVID, like last year, something just clicked in me where I always knew about points and all the distribution, but I was able to get my own independent distribution deal through TuneCore, and just utilize those things and the tools that they have. And then my publishing, BMI, doing the workshops. BMI have been so, like, during this COVID thing, we're doing the workshops and you can get online and still, they'll give you all the points on your royalties and all the things like that, and how to capitalize on the streams. That was my main challenge. I was streaming numbers and all this.
Exactly.
And I was like, where the check at? So just knowing who to contact, how to network, because to be honest with everybody, that you don't see a check for 6 months.
Right.
And I'm just being completely honest with you. You see the check every 6 months. And once I started understanding the royalties and the side of the business, to get back to you, George, I didn't want to be a Motown. Not knocking Motown. I would love to.
No, I just use Motown as a label.
With Motown for sure. Like, I would love to associate myself with Motown with a distribution deal or something like that. But on the other part, I could never let go of my masters. I just couldn't. And I just knowing the business now, I have to be involved in so much because there's so much parts. At first I used to think it was just getting the beat. Let me get a beat and write a song. I'm going to the studio, and then, I'll tell you guys a story, right? Going back to my journey on this music thing. Back in like 2000 and probably about 2012 or 2013, something like that. I had made this project, but I didn't own any beats. I didn't own no beat. I hadn't bought a beat. I had got the beat off of the internet, and I made these songs. Went to market the project, YouTube, nope. Everywhere, nope. So then I started, frustration led to the curiosity of, why? What's going on here? Because, and I say that because a lot of artists and a lot of people don't understand that you need to have ownership of the beat first before you even try to go and get, put it in a studio.
Exactly.
And so now my rule, I don't even work with other local artists unless we do a contract.
Exactly.
Unless I know where the beat comes from.
Exactly.
Do they own the beat? And I've had some artists be like, man, you asking too many questions. Oh man, look, I'm cool. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm
cool.
Because if you can't sit down with me for 30 minutes to an hour to make sure that the business is right on this song my voice is on, then I'm cool off that.
Exactly. That's true. I'm gonna go back when I started my label. I started 61 Entertainment back in, it was like 2008. I started it. I had 4 artists. I had what they call open contract back then, where they collab with anybody, but I own the right to the song.
Mm-hmm.
I own the right to beats everything. So when I say go back to what you said about the royalties, there's a site called freewiresync.com where you get, a local producer will put beats on there for you to sample. Now, 2 ways we can do this. They can do it, I can lease it from you and pay you a certain amount, like maybe $25, whatever. Now, lease it for you for 1 hour or something. Or I can give you respect on the album, basically what I said, beat from such, or beat from such. So basically, I'm giving you promotion. So many times I play the song, every time I play the song, I gave you respect on the album. There's one way you also pay the producer without having to get sued later on for the beats. So I get beats given to me every day. So I had to worry about beats. But then also I start telling people, when you start doing a label, you build yourself a team. I built myself a team. So I got a guy who just do marketing. I had a guy who just artist, whatever. And then I had a guy who made a beat for me. I had my own beat maker, in-house beat maker in the house. So I had to worry about going out and buy it because I had it right there. Now, the only problem with that is on how in-house beat maker is the contract with the artist is still different.
Yep.
A lot of people know that. Even though you have an in-house person that makes the beats, producer, the audio engineer behind it, you still have to sign a separate contract with him also. He had to get paid separate from you. So either way, you still got to pay him, pay the royalties, pay the hair. And the contract, I found out too, researching, we want to take 6 months for artists to actually get a check because they only pay you 15 cents per every time they play your song. So
that's not even true,
so they had to bring that money and collaborate up to build up. So in 6 months, they played your song over 3,000 times.
And you better not spend the money because you got to pay taxes on it first.
Exactly.
Number one.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's the thing, Fraser. 15 cents is generous. Actually, artists only get 9 cents. So the thing about it,
and to the company, research the company because BMI pays you 15 cents, and one company pays you only 3 cents, and one company pays you 10 cents. But see, the one easier to get into are the ones who pay the 2 cents and the 3 cents. The BMI, you had a stage to go through. Your stream had to be over, say, 5,000 streaming already. Then you have to be on most of this platform. It had to be on Spotify, it had to be Apple Music by yourself. Mm-hmm. Can't have nothing to do with it. Then once you go in there, then they'll pay you that 15 cents. Okay,
6 months later.
Exactly. You're gonna make the stunt. You're gonna make the money. Remember, they get by listeners, so they get paid by listeners. So more listeners come in for you. So you come in with almost 100,000 viewers, 100,000 listeners. I'm good. I make my money regardless.
Right.
So they want to tell my artists. What I tell my artists is, you have to have at least 2 albums already in a box.
Right.
2 have already in a box. If you ain't got 2 in a box, you can't work with nothing. Because I can't go say nothing for you. Right. Every deal you're gonna be a crappy deal. Excuse my language. In a business, crappy deal, you get screwed.
Right.
You know, and
you gotta bring what are you worth? You know, that's why
exactly.
I make a lot of money off merchandise too. That's something that I'm learning too, is just what are you worth? Like when that opportunity presents itself for me, I'm gonna be able to at least negotiate terms where I could do a joint venture or some kind of, collab deal or whatnot. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
You're right, man. And it's all about hustle and education, just educating yourself.
I would believe in, I never want to screw anybody over because I know how I felt to be screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
So artist is, when you go somewhere else, you make one thing sure. That person is not trying to rob you.
Right.
Remember, I don't need you on a song. I'm gonna put it out there right quick. People do not need an artist on a song. We don't want the song. They don't want the song. They put anybody on the song. They can get anybody on the song. Once you sign that paper, saying you with such, and they tell you, okay, pay me $20,000 and get your master back, or I keep it. Who got $20,000? Who got? You just starting out, mom. You just starting out. You ain't got no fan base, but the music's hot. He know this. He just tricked you into sign a contract, and he now owns all your stuff. So now, guess what? He don't need you anymore. He can take your music and have Beyonce sing it, or have a Snoop Dogg to sing it, or go. Matter of fact, he need to go over for that. Hey, DMX, you better come back, bro.
And you know, like it go back to like one of my favorite movies, man, American Gangster. And
There you go.
One of my favorite actors. When Frank Lucas was when he said, you know, when you own something, you can call it what you want.
Exactly.
And that always, not to glorify that time, because you know,
yeah,
that's a tough time, but just to go back to the ownership of it. Like ownership is I'd rather have a deed than a billboard.
Yeah, but that's just it. People don't understand some of the people in our community, like Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin and all these other individuals. Even people like Rick James and Prince. The reason why Prince had the word slave written across his face was because he didn't understand why I can sell so many million of records, but I still owe you money and I don't own the stuff that I created. You see what I mean? And the trick was, and it still is, back in the day, look at L. People don't understand that LL Cool J signed a 10-album deal. 10 albums. Okay. So the last album that he did that he called 10, he called it 10 because he was trying to let everybody know I am done with this contract.
exactly.
Okay. So the money and the millions of records that he sold, he only got paid pennies on the dollars because that contract was a 1986 contract. And he didn't finish with 10 until 2000 and something, or close to
Yeah.
2000. You see the years that go by. And a lot
Exactly.
of artists, they get hit with this advance. I'm gonna give you $1 million advance.
Mhm.
Give you $500,000, and you go, I'm broke. I don't have anything. I don't got no job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it. But they don't understand. They gave you dollars that they're expecting you to pay with pennies,
That's a
and
loan.
Exactly.
that's how they get you. That's how they get you. You know?
Exactly.
And those masters, the reason why those masters are important because they already negotiated international deals for their music where you don't get paid on that international money. They do. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because
It's true.
the contract is exclusive to the United States. It's not inclusive to international territory.
Nope.
When people understood that, people like Taylor Swift,
Mhm.
Justin Bieber, and all these other people, because first of all, Justin Bieber is Canadian. So when
Yep.
his management team understood that, they were like, oh, wait, hold on. International rights, that's not going to happen.
Nope.
See what I mean? And that's how people in our communities, we just looked at what we saw in front of us. We didn't look down the line. And so we
Exactly.
go, I'm doing all this. You got 100 songs, and some of those songs are bangers. You should be paid more. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
But you haven't because nobody actually sat down and negotiated. No, no, no. International rights, merchandising, marketing, this,
Yep.
commercials, that, boom, boom, boom. Okay.
Exactly.
And look what happened. Taylor Swift is one of the most wealthiest people in the music industry because her management team negotiated that from her from the beginning.
Right.
Yep.
Look at New Edition. Anybody of color loves New Edition. If you know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
look, that song Candy Girl, to this day,
Yep.
nobody knows who owns it.
Nope.
Wow.
Okay. Nobody that all that money that them boys made, Maurice Starr and all of them, nobody knows who owns it. So that's why you see a lot of people playing that song because it's just like they're waiting for the actual owner to pop up and say, I own the song.
Exactly.
They can sue him for decades and decades of royalties that these boys weren't paid because
Yeah.
now those cents are real dollars. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Mhm.
But that's what's happened to us in our communities time and time and time again because we get hit with the bling as
Yep.
opposed to the foundation of it. And
Exactly.
so that's why people like Ray Charles and everybody else, they were very successful and very wealthy because they
Yep.
owned their masters. They knew when they was playing that song in Alabama, they was getting
Yep.
paid. When they was playing that song in California, they was getting paid. You
Exactly.
see what I'm saying?
I'm telling
And
you, one of the best people that was James Brown. James Brown really started that. James Brown really emphasized on masters.
yeah,
He emphasized on masters. Owning your own stuff. He said, I own all my stuff. Not
Mm.
little, all my stuff.
Yeah.
They can't play it without me knowing about it. I get paid.
And that's like, and those artists, all the people you name, like I did all my research on those guys. And my uncle one, my uncle Reg, he's the one really when he heard me doing music, he was like, that's nice, but do you own your own masters? Do you have your
Yeah.
publishing? So I used to be like, man.
Yeah.
Then I started, and then I just, I sharpened up and just, want to capitalize on it, and then, researching Prince and, researching, all of them. I mean, it's so many different people, man.
So
Tupac.
many.
There's so many different people who, NWA,
Yep.
Sly and the Family Stone. There's so many different history lessons there that everybody's so caught up on the stage. I wanted to know the behind the scenes on
Exactly.
Yeah.
what's really going on. You know what I mean? And I had to realize that some opportunities, I'm gonna say like certain levels of opportunity, I will miss out on because I don't want to sell so much of myself. I
Exactly.
don't want to give so much away. So that's just the way it is. I'm from Oakland, man, and we the home of the homegrown and ownership.
That's it.
I
Well,
don't want to hear a song on nowhere, and I don't own it.
exactly.
Yeah, man. Look, I can definitely agree because even when it comes to the producer money is different than the
Yeah.
artist money.
Totally different.
You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing: if we're talking about $1, that producer is going to get 50 cents of that $1. So that
More than
means
before.
So that means that
$5.
everybody else, the labels, the
Yeah.
managers, the artists, everybody else is fighting for that balance, 50 cents. That's how the artists from their performance royalties can only get 9 cents, can only get 3 cents, can only get 15 cents.
Exactly.
See what I mean? Because everybody else has to get paid off of that dollar.
Exactly.
Oh
You
yeah.
know.
Now,
So,
now you're forced to do something everybody don't like to do. That go into the performing part of it.
yep.
That's what artists have to perform more than
Yep.
5 shows because that's when they get paid.
Yep.
They don't really get paid
You
So
you
much.
for performances.
hey, you gotta do anything in life. If you just doing the mediocre, I'm from California, man. We don't eat, we sleep one day and we behind. So it's like I can't, we hustle. Like I said, constructive, grind, work, grind, work. You know what I'm saying? That's all we know. Grind and work. While we having fun, we grinding. You gotta keep
Yeah.
going. You can't get, complacent. Can't be, I got iTunes now. I can sit back and nah, man. It's like you gotta keep going. Like you can't look at the negative. You just gotta keep capitalizing, keep educating. You know what I
Exactly.
mean, and keep networking.
Exactly. That's
So let
true.
me ask you really quick, back to your label. Are
Yep.
you just signing yourself or are you signing other artists? And if you're signing other artists, um, what management apparatus and what promotion apparatus? Like, for instance, do you have a tour manager that you're putting them on tour with? Do you have a complete production team that you're working with them? Because a lot of artists, the expertise that you have, a lot of artists need new artists, so they don't get taken advantage of. You see what I'm saying? And having all those things in place will put you at some of those levels of a Puff and Jay
Yep.
and some of these other people. You see what I mean? Because they have all of that knowledge. So are you looking for new artists? Are you just focusing on yourself right now?
Um, Always looking for new artists. Monarch Dynamics Music always looking for new artists. I am focusing on myself as well, but we do have a team that does things as well behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Um, my main thing is any artist that want to do it is um, just want to work. Um, you know, I'm down to manage and open up the connections and express the game that I have on things that I've learned and put us all in a position because
Mhm.
I'm the type of person I want my artists to own too. I don't
Right.
I,
Exactly.
I don't want I do it for the culture. I do it for the people. I don't do it
Mhm.
for the. Of course, it's a business, and
Exactly.
I'm going to put in, and of course, I have to capitalize on the things that I invest in. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm more about teaching a person how to fish rather than catching fish and being like, well, all we got is the head today. I don't know where the rest of
Right.
it is. I don't know where the boat is. Like, but you got a new boat. I don't know, man. Don't ask. I don't know. I'm gone. But one thing I've learned is that some people don't take it as serious as you would, and you can't
Mhm.
waste your time with that.
That's true.
and I've tried to you know, we have other artists, as well, Kingdom X, Grim Fury, Dollar B, but talking to other artists that we've tried to work with, they just, they expect, and they expect right away.
Mhm.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and I everything that I've ever had to do musically, I've had to invest in,
Mhm.
and I've had to learn from the loss of investments, and I've also had to learn from how to capitalize
Mhm.
on investing. Um, and you get this like entitlement where, like, they just sit there like, well, where's the money at? We made
Exactly.
the song, and it's like, well, you know, are you going to come by and let me establish the way of how you really get paid, or do you
Exactly.
want me to do it for you? Because if I do it for you, you're not going to reap.
Yeah, exactly.
And the understanding is not, some people take it as like, oh, you might be trying to get over, but it's not, because
Yeah,
there's time that goes on into this. There's percentages you got to research. There's composition forms you got to sign, and
exactly.
there's all kinds of things that people think that after the booth, that's it,
Yeah,
Right.
and oh, the money come.
that's it. You think
No,
that's
it don't work that way.
it?
So just to cap, I'm always down, George, to sign artists, because again, I'm building a brand,
Right.
and but I just want artists who really trying to work and trying to make some. Nobody wants to put that work in.
Exactly.
As it go back to what y'all said, the team. Remember, you guys was talking about
Yeah,
before we came online, the team. There's no I in team. there
exactly.
there is no I in team.
Right.
And I completely agree with that, because any dynasty, Rockefeller,
Yep.
Warriors, the Bulls, the Lakers, um, they had a team. Kobe
Right.
Bryant had a team.
Right.
Uh, Michael Jordan, he had
Got
a
a
team.
team.
Right.
Steph Curry, he got a team. LeBron,
Had a team. Several.
LeBron had a team. He did. Because Kevin Love and J.R. Smith, they may not be elite,
Elite.
but
But
they got potential. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? And
Exactly.
just to touch base, LA gave him some good pawns, made to get back in there with,
Yeah,
but
you know.
I'm loving, I had took a little hiatus off of NBA, but I've been for different reasons. But I love what they doing. When I heard about Harden,
Yeah.
when I heard, when KD left us and went over and did his thing over there, and just
Oh,
seeing
he
him.
left us. I'm in Jersey, so he's with us now. We
Oh
back,
yeah,
baby.
yeah, he left. He
We
left
back,
us,
baby.
man. Now he over there with y'all. Um, and Kyrie's amazing.
Yeah.
As a player. Just to see that team in history, just to see Kyrie,
Yep.
KD, and Harden. I'm not a big Harden fan, but
Yeah.
Harden, and then to see what the Lakers are doing.
Yeah.
But don't count us down though.
Oh no, I
No,
ain't
no, not
counting.
at all. Please.
Don't
I'm
be
gonna tell you
counting us
what
out now. I
everybody
didn't
else.
I
Too
didn't
much
hear y'all bring
talent.
us up at all. You know what
No,
I'm
Hey,
no,
saying?
no. There's too much talent to count
he
us
learned
out.
from Miami. LeBron learned from Miami. They get real now.
Oh, of course,
Dwayne Wade taught that man how to play basketball.
of course,
Shaq taught
of course,
Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade taught LeBron. It
of
passed
course.
they call passion knowledge on. That's why you think LeBron don't get mad if he leave. He like this. Bye. And who else out there available? You know
Team,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
teams win championships. Period.
Exactly.
Right.
Teams win like y'all together. Y'all are a championship team. You
I
see what I'm
appreciate it.
saying? And
Appreciate
that's
it.
yeah, that's what it is. No,
Get
that's
that
what
ring.
it is.
Get that ring. Hold
I
on, Joe. Get the
appreciate
ring.
y'all having this outlet, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. I was so excited, man. I couldn't wait. I'm like, oh, I can't wait till the 14th, man. I can't wait. I'm gonna be on the show. You know. But man, like it goes back. I really want to put that out there in the world. I don't think we have enough love, and we don't have enough
Nope.
compassion and companionship out here in the world, man. And teams win everything. If you're moving kind of slow, it might be because you got one tire instead of all four running.
That's right.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
But let me
again,
hit you real quick with this question. I know you said you talked about funding and financing. In real estate, we have the opportunity now through certain resources to crowdfund if we want to buy an apartment building or if we want to buy this house fix and flip. Have you have you raised money specifically for your label, or are you paying for everything out of your pocket? Have you thought about crowdfunding to raise money for your record label and project? You know, I hate to say it like this, I really do, and I don't mean it to sound like this, but white people learn at a very young age to use other people's money to get what
Yeah.
they want to get done. And we always feel like we got to work a
Yeah.
job to use, you see what I mean, and raise the
Yeah.
money to get the money that we have to do. And that's why a lot of times we're not successful because we don't understand finances. We don't understand how economics truly work. Somebody want to build a hotel, they don't work a job to save money to build a hotel. They raise money from
Exactly.
investors to build the hotel. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not I wasn't trying to educate you or just ramble on. I was just asking you in certain situations and scenarios, how are you raising money for yourself, for your artist, for your label, to be able to have success as an artist, but also be able to put the entity in something that has a good valuation. So, in other words, if you wanted to sell your label to Frage, how much would the label be worth? See what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right. And you actually just educated me on some crowdfunding, and
Mm.
that's something for me to check more into. I've been doing more just using basically like my merchandise that I sell, you know what I'm saying, and
Reinvesting back into the business.
reinvesting back into it after after the fact of once I gain, or I'll have people that might they might donate to me right now, and
Yeah.
in order to get certain things going, and when those things going, like sponsors,
Yeah.
Hmm.
you know what I mean. Shout out Chop Chop Chorley and a couple of sponsors, Good Juju, things like that. And but crowdfunding, I hadn't thought of that. So now
Hey,
no,
crowdfunding,
because
Yeah, I
is-
got you. I
man.
no,
got you, DJ.
man, no, and I love that because iron sharpens iron, man,
That's
and
Yeah.
right.
that is another way for me to add to my marketing to help
Mhm.
get the revenue up. So look, that helped open my eyes, because you're right. In the
Yeah.
beginning of doing a business and being an artist, you get them
Mhm.
frustrating points where you are going to pull from your own
Yeah.
pot per se, until you understand investing and certain business loans that you can
Yeah.
get, certain business grants you can get,
Yeah.
um, and you could utilize that as write-offs and tax write-offs
Exactly.
and things like that. And but now I can add the crowdfunding
Yeah.
to the other things. You see what I'm saying? And it take
Exactly.
each, and that's what I want to touch on too, as black men, as just men, period. As people, period. When someone else is trying to educate you on something that you may not know, don't feel bad and feel a certain type of way. That brother is educating me, and a person, anytime they take time out to tell you any kind of game, you need to be quiet and listen. That's why you got one mouth and two ears, and
That's right.
don't feel personal about it. It didn't hurt your
Right.
feelings. You know
Right.
what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So
Right.
I just want to put that out there, George, because we should be able to talk like this to make sure that we uplift each other. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So I'm
true.
gonna get on that crowdfunding for sure.
Exactly. Crowdfunding. Now, I tell you what I used to do back in the day. Back then, I used to do we had certain what called certain time investors. I
Yeah.
call time investors where I give a certain percent at a certain period of time, not over a year, not over 2 years. Like basically, they give me $5,000, I'll give a certain percentage after to a year,
Right.
2 years after
Right.
it's kind of
Right.
come. So basically, I'm using you like that money over and over again, and then after a certain term, I go back and ask them, do you want to reinvest, or do you want to take the lump sum or $1,000 more on top of what they were made? A lot of people say, you know what? Go ahead and reinvest again.
Right.
So you keep money going, residual funding going back and forth because they don't keep producing, keep showing things, showing the money being utilized wisely. They will continue to give you money. They will bring people to you. So now you're gonna go on and find any more people. So that's why I didn't have to find anybody. Other people come in, hey, I will give you $10,000, but I need 2% over a 2 year period of time, a
Right.
year. I said, cool, I can do that. Now you give me 10 grand, and half of the operating cost back then maybe $2,000, $3,000. So I still had $7,000, $8,000 in a
Mhm.
hole.
Hmm.
So I can do what I want. And
Right.
nothing will tell you to do too. That will save a lot of money. Joy probably know about it too. Invest in an apartment complex, turn the top floor into your studio.
That's right.
Get the bottom floor out. So
That's
now
right.
you got residual income under your business, and you want to come as a business asset. That way, when you go actually file tax or whatever, it becomes asset and it can depreciate its value also. So once you depreciate the value, guess what happens? Now it give more money to buy another property, another one, and now you also start a program for the youth,
That's
and
right.
your local area will give you grants.
There we go.
Help you invest more in the youth, and then guess what happens to youth? You ain't look for artists no more. They come to you now.
That's right.
Breeding
What do you think about this beat? You know, I was working on this song. Next thing you know, you got a 13, 14-year-old prodigy
Exactly.
from your nonprofit that you
Mhm.
set there, from either music to teaching
Yep.
and this, that, and the third. You got state, federal, and local grants that you
Always
can
give it to
apply for. You see what I mean? And
Give it
boom, anything that deals with kids learning and education, there's
Exactly.
money there for it. Private and government.
Mhm.
There's a lot of private people out there that will cut a check for you if
Exactly.
you're dealing with the youth. So, you know, these are just little things that we're just sitting here talking
Man,
about.
in my goal, man. I didn't add that to the goal list, man. I'm a shark, man. I'm focused now. I'm in there.
Big one. But tell you something, dude, look up Cadillac Records.
Right.
Cadillac Records started a music school for the youth in the community in Detroit. They started actually a music school. And I think things going now where they do it, they breed them, teach them, help them how to edit, audio, master everything, so they can go out and do their own music. And what they do is, if they're good enough and they pass certain tests, they sign them
Mhm.
on a what they call what I think we call the two contracts. It's the open contract. I call open, not open, call open now, but I call open
Non-exclusive.
contract.
It's a non-exclusive contract.
Non-exclusive contract where if they're underage, they still in a contract until they return mature enough to be of age,
Exclusive, right.
sign the actual contract.
Right.
So you can do those contracts for people, and then guess what? Help the mom not pay bills, the artists they got eating, and the most important thing you create. I'm gonna tell you this: is the most important thing you create is called loyalty.
That's right.
That's the most important thing people understand. When you have a kid and kids see you benefit, he benefit from you, and you see you have a good interest in heart, he's not going anywhere. If a Sony come to him, if a Atlantic record come to him, he ain't going nowhere. He gonna know, hey, my boy DJ, I'm the day I die with him. That's where I'm gonna go.
That's right.
That's where I'm gonna go. See, I would tell all people to know when Suge Knight started a label, he had a few artists. He had a strong arm, but there was loyal artists where he helped out when they were young. When he was game banging, he was game banging, he was a bouncer, and he knew their talent. He helped them and gave them a contract. They would create a loyalty to him. They weren't going nowhere. He in jail. They still trying to figure out what to do, how they gonna think, because he was everything, you know. So that was.
I mean, look, any type of, not to cut you off, Fraser, but any
Sure.
type of learning program in our communities, there's money there on the local, state, and federal level.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that at least the federal government has done for us when it comes to education, is to be able to put there. But the problem is, you know, you're a shark, so you're not undisciplined. But there's a lot of people who say, oh well, the paperwork is too hard, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to do it. Well, you can hire somebody who, by the way, will take a percentage of what they get. So that means you don't even have to pay them. You can hire a grant writer and say, look, they'll tell you that my percentage is 20% of the grant. So if they get you $100,000, they're taking $20,000.
Exactly.
What do you care? You didn't do the work. And if you had to pay somebody to do it, you'd be paying them more than $20,000 anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a lot of different ways that you can get around it. You know, I just love talking about business, finance, and young entrepreneurs like yourself, business, real estate, you name it, politics, sports,
Everything.
you know, we all in it because it's knowledge. All the stuff that Fraser and I have in our head, if we don't let and get it out to people, we're gonna die with it. And what's good for us? Okay, so especially in this time where we're under attack and Black Lives Matter is a curse word and all this other stuff, you know, we need to be able to keep talking to people like yourself and young brothers out there who's hustling and been hustling and got the heart of the people. That's the thing, got the heart of the people, our people, to be able to go ahead and keep the torch going, man. You know, I'm 46 years old. You know, Fraser's a little bit younger than me. You know what I mean?
I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I ain't a lot close, but I'm almost close.
You know, but DD, I'm saying that to say, brother, you know, you the one that's right up behind us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you the one that's going to be standing on our shoulders. real quick, man, before we end this show, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Man, on Instagram, capital D, DJ is #1. You can get me on twitter.com, DDJ on the way. Check me out on Spotify. Type in DDJ and you'll see that right there.
No
Feel me?
doubt.
iTunes, Amazon, type in DDJ, Trust No One. That's TRUSTNO dot #1. It's the only album out. Go get that album. It's hot. I'm telling you right now. Shout out my Uncle Red. Shout out my mom. Shout out Dev. Shout out Kingdom X. Shout out Grim Fairy. Shout out Dollar B. Yee! Oh yeah. R.I.P. to my pops, man. R.I.P. to my pops just passed Boogaloo Dan, man. R.I.P. And man, please hold on to your loved ones out there. And I want to just say shout out to George and Fraser, man, for giving us a platform and giving us a real platform where we don't have to, do no crazy stuff or nothing like that. So big salute to y'all, and I'm gonna keep dropping these things, and I want to get back on for another season of this show, man.
Well,
No doubt. We definitely got love for you, man. We appreciate you being on the show.
And George, send me that address, George. I know you at XL, man. Send me
No
that
doubt.
address.
No doubt. My man.
Yeah. It didn't start like one of those award shows. I don't think everybody made it possible.
Man, hey. Hey,
No doubt.
Hey, this is an add to my career, man. So I treat everything. This is exciting right here, man. This is a big platform. So
I love it.
We definitely appreciate you being on the show, man. Check it out. We definitely will be back.
All right.
Oh, definitely coming back. Definitely.
My man.
Yeet. Oh, man. Great show.
We got another show coming tomorrow at 7:00 with another artist. I know we've been doing a lot of this, but let me tell you something, man. I'd rather right now be talking to people who are about things than dealing with what we got to deal with in this social life. I'm going to say this, okay, before we leave, Frey. This weekend will mark the 17th. I know that everybody is concerned. The 17th is on a Sunday, I believe.
Yeah.
So just be careful, be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful of the political climate around you. I know this is America, but I have to say it for people that look like us. Be mindful of what you say in public out loud that people can hear. You don't want to start anything. You don't want somebody jumping in your face because they heard you say something wrong, and you don't want to have to punch them in the mouth. So please, 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 they said that this thing is going down from January 17th until the 20th. We don't know what they have in store, but please, as people, our people, please be mindful of that because they're still including us in everything. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, this, that, and the third. And we don't want to get caught up, family people. I hate to say it, but please stay home until law and order can be restored. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I know that there's things happening in my town, and, we're seeing in town and people on the street, and we're just trying to avoid it the best that we can. So that's my love for everybody. Please be safe.
That's true. And one thing, we're all Americans, despite of what color we are or what background we're from, we're under one flag.
That's right.
We're united under one flag.
That's right.
And I'm going to go back to my boy, Jeopardy, late Jeopardy host. He said it best. Be in a position to help others, allow others to help you.
That's right.
Not think of it always a handout. Think of it the way of improving yourself and helping out. So take advantage of all opportunity. And like George say, be safe out there because everything you walk away from, you live longer.
That's right. So we definitely appreciate y'all. Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Fraser.
And that was Real Talk with George and Fraser. Peace.
Peace.